Often, when you want to create a new application or you want to extend an existing application, it can be complex. You have to gather business users together, they think of a solution, then you document it, then you create it, and somehow you deploy it and you show it to the business users, and most often business users would say, oh no, it's not exactly what I wanted. We have a solution called Build to help and create applications in an easy fashion. I will go through 4 main steps. First, I will show how to create a low fidelity prototype. Then I will go and create a high fidelity prototype. Then I will gather some feedback. And fourth, I will export the application ready for development. Before that, I want to show you the kind of application or extension I want to create. I am on my iPad. I have an extension of my ERP, and these extensions consist of many different tiles. First, there's my quotation, then there's my sales orders, etc. And through this application that my business users wants to create, when I create to sales order, I have a list of my sales order. I can dig into one of them and see which one is in progress, which one is open, which one is shipped. So this is the application we have created through Build. So now let me go through the 4 main steps. First, the low fidelity prototyping. So when I gather 1 or 2 business users during a workshop, instead of compiling a document, we draw those different dashboards that they want and import them into Build so that it is clickable. So here, the business users asked for a main page with a logo, an image, the 4 tiles that I have shown. And when I click on sales order, I have my search bar, the list of orders, and then when clicking on one of the order, I have information around the different articles. So in terms of benefits, first, it is easy to use, you gain time, you don't invest a lot of time while creating this document. The second step, once you are okay with the prototyping with the different business users, is to go and create a high fidelity prototyping. For that, this is a prototype that I have shown you. For that, I will go to the tool called Build. So Build is accessible through this URL, sap.build.me. And what I will do is I will log in. When logged in, I have my different projects and I have the project which I am looking for. So here you can see that I have created the low fidelity prototyping by just drawing the different screens and then importing into Build. And now I will look into the high fidelity prototyping. So I have created this prototype onto Build, and this is how you create it. So if I take the example of my cockpit, I have on the left a list of different components that I can drag and drop. So for example, if I want to, for example, add another tile, I would have clicked tile, and then I would have drag and drop this tile in order to create this new tile. I can preview this application so I see how it works on my desktop, but also on my tablet in a portrait mode or landscape mode. So this is my application, and basically once you have the paper way with the low fidelity, that's it. You just create new pages, you drag and drop the components, and again you can share this application with different business users, a lot of business users, to get feedback before going into production. So this is how you create a high fidelity prototype. The third step is gathering some feedback. So I will go back into my project, which is high fidelity prototype sales order. On the second step, I clicked on the prototype, but now I will click on feedback. and then I have an overview of people that have provided feedback. So basically what you have done, you have this workshop. This workshop, you have created a low fidelity prototype that has been accepted by 1 or 2 business users. Then you create this high fidelity prototype which would look similar to the final application that the end user would have. Then you would be able to create this application, show it or give this application to the end user so that they have it onto a desktop or an iPad, like I've shown you just before. Then they can play with it and they can provide their feedback to say they want this kind of enhancement or not. So if I look at the question, I see that 2 people have responded and have provided feedback, and one of the feedback is here, it's great. So they don't want things to change. Here, however, the end user wants to add more details. So what I could do is that then I can rework on my prototype, add additional field, provide this to the end user, gather more feedback until the end user is really happy with his application. Once the application is done, that all the business users are happy with the prototype and they see the value and they want to have this kind of application, then it's a matter of developing the new application. And for that, if I go back into my prototype, I have a button called Share. I will click on Share. So there's a link. So this link you would provide it to your end user so that they access the prototype. And then there's a download. Once you download the zip in fact export the different HTML code behind so that you don't have to rework on it. So if I have a deep look into this zip file, I see the architecture of an application, okay? And this application you would be able to import into your development space within SAP Cloud Platform. It is called Web IDE, and then it is a matter of linking the different components like the button or the information displayed with the backend system like the ERP. The benefits are multiple. First, it's in the gain of time. You don't need to go in this complex processing where you create those documents, you provide the solution, you develop this application, you deploy it, and then you show it to your end users, and in the end it doesn't work. So you have to go back again and again and again, which we know it is time consuming. It is fast. You start with some paperwork where you just draw the different dashboard that you want. Once it is accepted, you drag and drop the components. You gather feedback with the same tool. And once the application, everybody is happy, you just export the code. The second is user adoption. Sometimes you have all the functionalities in place. You respond to all the needs, and then you create this application, you deploy it, and you see that your end users are not using the solution. Thanks to this prototyping process, you assure yourself that all the end users are happy with the application, and once it is created and put in production, it will be used by the end users. Thank you.